Right guys, and welcome back to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be going back in time all the way back to 2017 and taking you guys through what was my very first show over on Instagram, because throughout 2017 and half of 2018 I was an Instagram only pick fed before I came over and did the whole YouTube thing. And yeah, so this show is actually the only WrestleMania that I've done that was not on YouTube. It was an Instagram exclusive show, and it wasn't even matches, it was just a few pictures back then, you know, when I didn't film full matches or anything, and I didn't really have an arena. But I am going to be going through the whole match card and the results and the storylines around the time. I did see G Natty do this a little while ago now, going back on his old shows on YouTube, but I'm going to be going back on the first one on Instagram that I ever did, and the timeline is a bit confusing. So you're going to have to bear with me, because I count my pick fed as starting during the summer of 2016, and then it was more like a hand fed, you know, where I just played with the figures. I was very childish back then, but I'm still collecting figures, so I don't think I've really evolved. But yeah, back then, you know, it was just a hand fed really. I didn't really film anything until I started my Instagram page, where I did BFW WrestleMania 1. And if you go back on the channel, you will see every BFW WrestleMania since then. So 2, 3, and 4 all on the channel, and BFW WrestleMania 5 coming up. Yeah, there was no graphics or anything, it was just matches. So let's get straight into the opening match, and I'll explain what went down and the storylines if I can remember everything. I may be forgetting some things, because this was like 4 years ago now. So yeah, just bear with me a bit in this video. So up first, kicking off the show, I don't think there was a pre-show. This might have been on the pre-show, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. We did have Jack Swagger, who was the United States Champion at the time, defeating Christian, Chavo Guerrero, and Sami Zayn in a fatal 4-way match to open the show. And yeah, as you can see there by the caption, it does say Sami Zayn suffered a back problem, and this eventually did lead to his return at BFW SummerSlam the following year, which was actually the first full pick-fed match I did on YouTube. You can go check it out, and I did do commentary on it. So for all of you wanting me to do commentary and seeing how good I am at it, go back and watch that, because it is awful. And yeah, apparently Kevin Owens did turn on Sami Zayn recently and attacked him during this time. And yeah, I think Jack Swagger was actually the United States Champion from the previous year's SummerSlam. So I think he held that belt for a solid year before Sami Zayn then beat him after he returned at SummerSlam later the year. And if you guys can read the caption there, I say Jack Swagger puts over Christian and the rest of the people in the match, but that's not how that terminology works. What was I thinking? It should be they put over him, but then I've just kind of broke kayfabe. I don't know what I was saying in that caption. I was very dumb, as you can tell. But yeah, that is the first match. Jack Swagger won the first ever live match for BFW. That was officially posted. So yeah, no pictures from the match, because it wasn't even filmed. It was just results. So yeah, that's how that is. Let's go into the next match. And the next match was a match between Randy Orton taking on the personification of domination, Ezekiel Jackson. So yeah, this was interesting. Ezekiel Jackson, you never hear of him these days. And yeah, I don't know what this feud was. I don't think I did much with Ezekiel Jackson later on. Obviously, Orton is still around in the Fed, former world champion since then. And yeah, Jackson apparently kicked out of an RKO, according to this post that I did. And then I do believe Randy Orton eventually won. So, you know, putting over that new talent, of course, in Randy Orton. Yeah, Randy Orton drills another RKO and claims the victory. So, yeah, as you guys can see, the arena is... I've still got this ring somewhere. I think it's in the attic. And, yeah, my door is just there, the wall. Yeah, not much going on in the arena. As you can tell, we have improved since then. All the way back in 15th of May 2017. So yeah, Randy Orton picking up a huge win over Ezekiel Jackson for some reason. Now here we have a confusing one. We have Evan Bourne, or Matt Sydal, defending the world title against the newly returned Alberto Del Rio. And yeah, this was very strange, because if you guys remember last year, I did bring back, when Aleister Black won it in 2019, he brought back this world title design. Because this at the time, that world title belt that Matt Sydal is holding. That is not the official World Championship. It was kind of like a lower mid-card title that I just had no use for. And when I brought this title back as the main world title, the Aleister Black one, I completely forgot that I used that design as a mid-card, lower-card title. So I don't really know what's happened there. It's very confusing. So yeah, everyone thinking Alberto Del Rio, because he did win this, or Matt Sydal being a former BFW World Champion, that is incorrect. Because Del Rio did win this after returning, apparently. And yeah, he won with the cross arm breaker. And I think he held it for a few months, and then I don't remember who he dropped it to. If you guys scroll down on my Instagram page, you'll probably be able to find it. I think he had a match against Tensai, maybe Justin Gabriel. So what a stacked mid-card that is. And as you guys know, Matt Sydal did recently return to BFW at Revolution, taking on Walter, and has been confirmed for the Casino Battle Royale at BFW WrestleMania 5. So maybe he'll get a world title match in the future, a real world title match instead of this fakeness. Up next on the show, we had a bit of tag team action where the Bar defended their, was it the world? I think it was just one set. I don't think I had divisions like Raw and SmackDown at this time, so it might have just been the normal tag titles. I think I brought in the SmackDown tag titles later in the year, and the Bar defended against the Miz and Morrison. And yeah, I do think the Bar did win this, and I think they went on to have a run where they would lose to, who did they lose to? I don't know. They held them for a while, I think. But yeah, Miz and Morrison would eventually split up. Miz turned on Morrison. Both were not really going to do much. Morrison did just return at the Royal Rumble, so maybe we'll see him in the future more. You guys know how I feel about Miz. I can't stand the guy anymore. So yeah, Miz not coming back anytime soon. And Cesaro and Sheamus, also haven't been seen in a while. Cesaro in particular. I don't know what it is with Cesaro. There's just so much talent to use. He just falls into that unfortunate category where I've just got no place for him on the card. And I'd rather not use him than just shove him into a few matches, taking losses and everything. And Sheamus, I think last lost to was it Lars Sullivan or Brody Lee in the middle of last year. And yeah, since then he has not been seen. However, I do want to use Sheamus more in the future, especially with his new Elite. I do like that, so maybe we'll see Sheamus sooner rather than later. And yeah, this match just ended with the Bar retaining. Next, we had the Intercontinental Championship match between the current champion, former champion Finn Balor, at the time current champion, what am I saying? Finn Balor with his socks, look at that epic fix-up, taking on Dean Ambrose / Jon Moxley, and obviously both guys are still very present in BFW. Dean Ambrose / Jon Moxley, currently known as, is going for the world title at BFW WrestleMania. Finn Balor will have something to do very soon. And yeah, I think John Cena was the first ever BFW Intercontinental Champion. He won it at SummerSlam the previous year. And then Finn Balor beat him, and then Finn held this belt for a while. I think all the people on the show ended up having quite long reigns. And I'm just trying to think who beat Finn Balor for the Intercontinental title if I just cast my mind back. I have no idea. It might have been Rusev maybe or someone. Or a bigger name, I don't know. Because Finn did go on to challenge for the Universal title the next year. And then the year after that at BFW WrestleMania 3, he would defend his Universal title in the main event against Seth Rollins. And then the following year he was in the Money in the Bank ladder match, so that was last year. And I think the following year after this, there was a ladder match where Austin Aries became the new Intercontinental Champion. So I don't know what happened between then, who defeated Balor or anything. I will have to go back and have a look on my Instagram. That'll take a while. But yeah, Finn Balor did end up retaining his Intercontinental Championship here against Dean Ambrose. Next, we did have a Money in the Bank contract on the line. I think Dolph maybe won it the year before at Money in the Bank or something. I don't remember. I think I just kind of gave him it. And yeah, he did defend his Money in the Bank contract against Samoa Joe. And Dolph Ziggler is currently going for the Raw Tag Team titles with Drew McIntyre. He's had a pretty big ride over the years. He was joined Bullet Club at SummerSlam later was it this year or the next year? I can't remember. Had a few Raw Tag title reigns, Intercontinental title reign. And yeah, here he was, Mr. Money in the Bank. And Samoa Joe, you guys know how I feel about Samoa Joe figures. I would love to use Joe more, but until he gets a decent figure, hopefully an AEW one in the future, then we won't be using Joe anytime soon. Maybe a custom or something, I don't know. But yeah, Dolph did win this. He retained against Joe. I think they had a pretty big feud at the time. And Dolph would actually go on to cash in his Money in the Bank one day before his contract expired at Money in the Bank later this year. So yeah, he timed it well. Left it a bit almost too late, but he did manage to capture the world title, where he would hold it for a few months until he would lose it to John Cena, and was never kind of really in the world title picture anymore, but was always in the mid card or the upper card section of BFW. So yeah, Dolph Ziggler was the first ever Money in the Bank holder. And up next we do have the semi-main event before the main event. We do have CM Punk defending his Universal title, which he held until held from SummerSlam the previous year, and yeah, he would defend it here against his biggest challenge yet, in Brock Lesnar, who actually is the current Universal not Universal. We don't use that word here. At the time, it was the Universal Championship, but now Lesnar is the BFW World Heavyweight Champion, and yeah, Punk had a pretty long reign, and he did manage to defeat Brock Lesnar, but only because Sting came out of nowhere. And I think I may have done something in the Rumble before this Mania that was kind of, not filmed, where Sting maybe got took out by Lesnar and Sting returned, and he actually cost Lesnar the title here, and this would lead to a match at SummerSlam later in the year, which Brock would win, and we wouldn't hear from Sting again. But yeah, Brock Lesnar obviously still very present in BFW. Punk, not really. He did return out a feud with Mustafa Ali in 2019. I think he feuded with Roman Reigns after he beat Brock here. And then he lost it to Kevin Owens after Triple H cost CM Punk the title. Then they would go on to have a match at the following SummerSlam. Punk would return as a heel, attack Ali, and then he'd be written off in 2019 by Mustafa Ali. So yeah, Punk not around anymore. Lesnar still very much around. And yeah, that was the semi-main event of the very first BFW WrestleMania. And you guys may have saw it at the start, but here is the big main event. We did have Seth Rollins, who also held that title since the previous year's SummerSlam. So quite a long reign, almost a year, taking on Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles. I do believe AJ Styles won the very first BFW Royal Rumble. That's how he got into this. Not sure how Hardy got into this. I think he may have won a qualifying match or something, or he was feuding with AJ at the time. AJ was a heel at the time. Seth was a face, I think. And yeah, Jeff was a babyface. And yeah, Jeff Hardy actually did become BFW champion at one point. I'm still using this belt. This belt is still the BFW championship 4 years later. And according to this caption, Rollins plants Styles. Hardy returns with a swanson bomb on top of the pin, and you have a new WWE champion. So this was before BFW. So was this even BFW WrestleMania? I don't know. Maybe I need to go fix that. But yeah, it was the BFW championship. And yeah, Jeff did manage to get the big win, and he would celebrate with Matt Hardy. Look at that Matt Hardy fix-up. Road Dogg with Elite 6 Matt Hardy head scanning arms. I think my Elite 6 Matt Hardy broke. But yeah, following this, Jeff would feud with AJ Styles, where AJ Styles would destroy Jeff Hardy with Luke Gallows and Curtis Axel, who were the original club. That's a weird story. And yeah, Styles would become BFW champion. Then Ziggler would cash in on AJ Styles. So I think AJ Styles only had like a one-day reign. Then Styles obviously still very present in BFW. Jeff would not go on to do much. Had a Raw Tag Team title reign, and since then has been attacked by Bray Wyatt, and that will lead to something soon. And Seth Rollins obviously currently the Messiah in a feud with Will Ospreay. So all three guys, still in pretty big feuds, still doing big things. But that was the main event of the very first BFW WrestleMania. And yeah, it just shows you guys you can start from anywhere in this pick-fed thing. I probably started on my iPhone 5C, I think I had at the time, with no arena, just an authentic scale ring that I had since 2012, whatever figures I had at the time. And yeah, it was fun. And yeah, look how far we've came in terms of arena, match quality. So many people watch it now, which is crazy that people watch these figure shows. But I'm glad you guys enjoy, and I can't wait to finally release BFW WrestleMania 5. And yeah, let me know what your favourite match from this show was. There wasn't really any matches, it was just pictures. But yeah, that is the history of the very first BFW WrestleMania. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.